Services, PenFed Realty, and this is my real estate show, and today we have a repeat guest. You're one of two repeat guests.
Yay!
So this is Rebecca Fields. She works for the City of Wichita, and I got to go to her office one day because I do a cleanup day in my neighborhood, and you're in charge of cleanup day applications.
That's true.
And the deadline's coming up. What's the deadline?
February 8th
Okay.
is the deadline this year.
And if you want to do a cleanup day, you have to contact you, and then you send out a little two-page form.
Yes.
And it says, basically, where do you want the dumpsters? How many dumpsters do you want? What else does it say?
How many Packer trucks you want, if you want a tire truck at your cleanup. And then we also like to get all the contact information, including a cell phone. And then a list of volunteers. If most neighborhood cleanups need a lot of volunteers.
My cleanup needs what?
One. Yeah. You're kind of like the whole thing.
The whole thing. That's why they called me to the office. They were like, "Where's your list of volunteers?" I said, "It has my name on it, right?" And they were like, "Yes, but where's the rest of the people who helped you?" I said, "Nobody helped me."
Yeah.
So we have some pictures, and we'll kind of show you what we're talking about. That's the Wichita Parade of Homes, which has nothing to do with what we're doing. So we're looking for a different picture. Yes, that's trash.
There it is.
There's trash. So this is what we're calling a dumpster or a skid.
Correct.
And they bring this to our corner, and you can see I put it in the park area, but not in the park. And this is actual truck picking it up and taking it away or delivering it, one or the other. But there's a professional company that comes in and brings this, like, to my neighborhood at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Correct.
And the whole neighborhood hears the thunk thunder of it arriving, and then everybody gets up in their jammies and brings their trash to the corner. So, but when you say there's actual trucks, you have another option where the trucks will go house to house.
Right, that's where you need the most volunteers. If you want Packer trucks to go down the blocks and have people take their items down to the curb, then we want 4 to 5 volunteers behind each truck to help pick all that up, because sometimes there's couches. I've seen pianos, mattresses,
We've had large, those triple-sized dressers and things like that donated to our trash pile. But so the way that I do it is, like you saw, those skids come to the corner, and I've already put out a flyer, information on next door is how I get it out, and I post that it's going to be on this corner from 7:30 until full, or 11 o'clock, whatever time comes first. So I don't need a bunch of people to come because I'm just a volunteer, because I'm not going house to house. They have to bring it to my corner.
Right.
And then what I do, just as a hint, is I sucker one of my neighbor guys with a trailer and a truck to go around to the neighbors that are elderly or have no way to get a mattress or a large piece, and then he brings it to the Packer truck for us. And
Yeah,
usually
that's
there's
nice.
another neighbor just standing around who will help him unload that. So I have a very friendly neighborhood, and that's the way we work ours. So are there any other options to doing
Well,
that?
that's good. You always need at least one person and maybe two at one of the dumpsters or the skids to make sure that there's no illegal dumping of any household hazardous waste, such as oils, tires. If there's not we don't allow tires to go into the transfer stations or the landfill. Those need to be handled separately. And
So you would have to, as the volunteer coordinator for your neighborhood, you would have to request a tire truck, and a truck shows up that has a big cage around it, and that guy sits there and waits for tires to show up.
correct, yeah.
That's what he does.
Yeah, we've had problems. We used to have the tire truck go around the neighborhood just like the Packer truck. This year, we're going with a stationary location for the tire truck because a lot of these small independent tire companies get wind of a cleanup, and the next thing we know, our poor tire guy is picking up like over 500 tires in a single cleanup.
Because to take a tire somewhere and have it recycled is what, $5 a tire?
It can be anywhere from $2.50 to $5, depending on the company that will take it. And so, yeah, quite an expense when you get over 500 tires.
Right. So one of the things that I do is I pass out, when I go door to door and put flyers and let people know the cleanup day is coming up, I put specifically, you cannot bring anything with Freon or oil or those types of things. Cement is another one. You can't bring
right.
and you also have to have a metal recycler guy show up as well.
That's true.
And now I'm friends with him, and he does a ton of metal.
Isn't he awesome?
So his name is Daniel Ackerman. If you ever need his name, you can call me at 316-214-1121 and get his phone number. But Daniel just does scrap metal recycling, and he's taken refrigerators out of houses for clients of mine that are moving and things, just amazing things. But that's how I met him, was doing this event. So you have to have a metal recycler, and he will come and pick up anything that's metal. But that's one of the new requirements as of a couple of years ago.
Correct, and that was so that metal is quite heavy, and so we were trying to figure out ways that we could, because the vendor, that
Trash
supplies,
company.
right, the trash company, they charge us by the weight. So anything that we can take out of that weighs especially heavy will help the City of Wichita extend their budget so that we can do more cleanups.
So one of the things I do when I just kind of stand there, I gave away food for a while, but nobody wanted my food. I had donuts and burritos, and they're like, we just want to use the trash thing. So, but my job is to make sure those hazardous things don't go in, that if people need help getting it in, and kind of explaining what we're doing. But right now, I've done it for 4 years. My neighborhood knows.
Yeah, you're a pro now.
But one of the things that I do is, I recognize these people coming typically, so I don't have people from other neighborhoods hauling their stuff over. And one of the things I put on my flyer is, this is for our neighborhood only. Here are the boundaries, and it's for our neighborhood only. If somebody's sister really wants to bring over something, then that's fine. But we don't want other neighborhoods just coming and hauling, and then we're inundated, because once we're full, we're done. So wasn't there something else you wanted to bring in?
Yes, we do have cleanup training for those that have never participated before. And the first one will be February 20th at the Atwater Neighborhood Resource Center, which is 2755 East 19th Street. It's at 6 p.m. And then we have a daytime one that's on a Saturday morning, 10:30, at the Alfred Branch Library, and that's at 3447 South Meridian.
Okay, so 2 chances to get trained on what I kind of just told you about, and you've got to get your flyer or your application in again by
February 8th.
Okay, and you contact you at rfields@wichita.gov.
Correct.
And that is our show for the day. We will have Fred Samuelson, who is an appraiser, as our guest next week. See you then. Stay warm.